is all the rum gone? In my stomach. Yeah, it's not good to put me around teenagers, FYI.
Why?
Because I'm still too much of a teenager at heart. And I don't act like an adult like I'm supposed to.
Thank God for that.
No, not thank God for that.
Yes, thank God for that, because then I wouldn't have the most awesome mom.
Yeah, but it's important to understand the structure of an adult lifestyle. And regardless of whether or not it's liked, it's necessary.
Ma,
So unfortunately, you need to learn how to act like you conform.
You take care of your freaking husband who doesn't get off his butt enough to save his life, and you freaking cook his meals. This is pretty much...
Guess what he did the other day, Amy, when I was at work and I didn't even know he did it?
What'd he do?
When it was all full of snow out in the yard, he shoveled pathways all around the house and he put our Christmas lights up because I didn't have time to help.
Well, that's surprising.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't want to get kicked out. That's what I think.
No. Because I didn't say I was going to kick him out.
But you were thinking about it.
I've been thinking about it since 2003. Before he even fucking moved here. So, you know.
Why don't you just do it?
We deal well together for the most part. There are just times. And I do love him. You know, and love lets you do crazy shit for love. It's unfortunate, but it is true. He doesn't beat me. He doesn't... For the most part, he doesn't yell at me, though he did try to yell at me yesterday, and that did not go well for him.
Just hope he's learned his lesson.
You know, sometimes I do... Like, it's that yell at, like... I don't know if Dad does it anymore, but he used to when I was young. But I don't know if you ever see it anymore, because he's probably grown out of that. But it's a yell at that tries to make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, he still does that.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah. So it was a yell at like that I usually just absorbed because Dad did it enough when I was young that I learned to...
Ignore it.
Yeah, I learned to accept that it was not directed at me. It was just his way of coping with whatever he was coping with. But Friday, because I'm probably going to start my period soon, was not the right time. You know, and so he's on the toilet talking about something. And it's my job when he's talking about buying something for the business or whatever to try to throw the negatives back at him so that we can argue through it. So that we can see if it's really a good idea or not, if it's something that's going to make money. Mm-hmm. Because I'm the negative person. It's just my job to throw out, here are the bad things that can come and what can you argue back so that we can work through it and make sure it's going to be profitable. And he tried to get a shitty attitude about it. And so I just was like, Because it was just the way it was, that my point of it was protection for him. And then he said, oh, I wasn't yelling. I was just trying to make it so you could hear. I'm like, no, we had half the conversation without you yelling. I said, bullshit. And then he got all mad, and then he started his thing where he talks like he's talking to someone else, but there's no fucking one else in here about how I pissed him off. And so I just put my fucking pants on instead of my pajamas and put my shoes on, and I fucking left.
Where did you go?
I drove to Martin's to get bread.
Because that's where you normally go when you get in a fight. Just go get bread.
No, yeah.
Speaking of bread, by the way.
I needed bread. We can only get the bread that we like at Martin's.
I need bread.
So I needed to go to Martin's for bread, because this is the only kind of bread we get is this bread.
I don't care what kind of bread it is. I want bread now.
Martin's is the only bread place I can get.
I have a bread thing, you know.
So anyways, halfway there he calls me, and he's all, blah, 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 come home, blah, 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 and he's like, why did you just leave, blah, 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 and I'm like, because I don't want to talk to you right now, click. And he didn't like that, so he kept calling, and he sent me a text message, get home right now, you're the only person I have to talk to, so I closed my phone. And I went and got bread.